Welcome to CrossFit Nola online. Today I'm here to introduce Wednesday's workout. So if we bring our attention straight to the workout of the day, we have 5 rounds for time, 15 air squats, 15 burpees, 15 HR stands for hand release push-ups. The general warm-up for the workout will start with an 800-meter run. We'll do 10 pass-throughs, 10 scorpions, 5 yoga push-ups, and 10 toe touch squats. Actually, I think I have this in here, 2 rounds. After the workout of the day, we have a pretty extensive cool down. We have an A through E. 90 degrees is what that is. Prone pec stretch, a couch stretch, a frog pose, prayer stretch with PNF, a wrist in and out stretch, and then also put a little asterisk here. If you find the ability to get to a park with a pull-up bar, or you have a pull-up bar at your house, this would be a good day to kind of play with some pull-ups, maybe prior to the WOD or after the WOD there for some skill development. Okay, group, we're gonna demo the movements that we have in the warm-up. We're gonna talk about the workout movements and talk about the standard for them because this is a very measurable workout today. And then we'll do the same with the cool-down movements. So the warm-up starts with an 800-meter run. I think that you guys have that down. The 10 pass-throughs, I'm gonna grab a PVC pipe, a broomstick, a rubber band, anything that I can hold that's straight and long, and then I am gonna grab it with a loose grip and locked elbows and come up and around. As I feel the stretch is kind of working its course, I'm gonna increase or decrease rather the distance between my arms to get a better stretch through that movement. We have a lot of horizontal pressing today, so we wanna get the pecs opened up. The next movement is also for the pecs. So I'm gonna demo it first, and then when I'm not lying down, I'll talk about it a little bit. So those are gonna be the scorpions. I'm gonna lie prone or face down with both arms extended and my thumbs up. I'm gonna take my left leg and try to twist my body and touch my right arm with it. I can push away from the ground to feel a further stretch through the chest in that movement. The yoga push-up, so I'll demonstrate and kind of talk through it. So for the yoga push-up, I'm gonna start in a traditional push-up plank. I'm gonna drive up and away, closing the hip angle. I'm gonna shrug my shoulders and try to press my face through, getting an overhead stretch. And then I'm gonna try to drive my heels to the ground, getting a stretch through my calves and my hamstring. The last movement in the warm-up is a toe touch squat. I'm gonna take a traditional squat width stance, which is somewhere between my hips and my shoulders for most people. I'm gonna reach down and anchor my hands on the inside of my toes to help my knees get driven out. And I'm gonna drop my hips down. And then I'm gonna pull my hips up, feeling a stretch through my hamstrings before I stand. So that concludes the movements that are in the warm-up. Moving on to the workout, we have 5 rounds for time of 15 air squats, 15 burpees, and 15 hand release push-ups. I think that the workout might take about 15 minutes. We have these 3 movements are gonna kind of impact one another. So your legs are gonna get hot, you're gonna use legs some more, and you're gonna start to work your chest. Then you're gonna take a break from your legs and finish off the chest, and then we're gonna do that for 5 rounds. So let's take a look at all the movements. First, the air squat. This is a pretty standard movement. What I'm looking for a range of motion here is the hip crease to drop below the top of the thigh with a vertical chest, and then I'll stand at the top to where my hip is fully extended. The burpees are traditional burpees. If you wanted to keep yourself honest and you found a ledge or a target that was 6 inches above your reach, I think that that's a good way to do burpees. If you have no target, let's make sure our hands come together and touch above our head. That's going to add another shoulder stimulus to this workout. And let's make sure we extend our hip aggressively enough to come out actually off the ground into a jump. So here's a couple of burpees. The final movement of the workout is a hand release push-up. So in the bottom of our push-up, we're gonna take our hands off the ground, creating a bigger stretch through the pec and kind of taking away the elasticity and bounce you get out of the stretch of the push-up, ultimately making the push-up more difficult. So what I wanna do here in my push-up plank, I wanna go slightly outside my shoulders, think about maybe 2 hands width, outside my shoulders as being the maximum width. I'm gonna bring my elbows within a 45-degree angle here of my torso, and I want my forearm to be vertical and positioned right over my sternum. Bringing my body to the ground, I'm gonna take my hands off of the ground and then press up to full extension. There. One of the things I try to do in the push-ups to keep myself honest is to keep my quads off of the ground. I know in the burpee standard, we have you put your chest and quads on the ground, but I feel like that lends people into peeling themselves up a little bit. So by keeping your quads off of the ground, it's a little bit more strict and impactful of a movement as far as the pressing challenge goes. We're gonna conclude today with a cool down. We have A through E, 2 rounds. The prone pec stretch is extremely similar to the scorpion, except it's a static stretch. And instead of having the arm out, we're gonna have the elbow bent at 90 degrees. The next movement is a couch stretch. It's a pretty classic stretch that we do. I think part of the name, the couch stretch that Kelly Starrett named it, I believe, came from the ability to actually do this stretch on your couch. So if you can pretend that the edge of this box is the edge of your couch or a wall, I'm gonna go into knee flexion, bring my shin up against the object, and then try to get into a lunge position here. So there's a variety of different ways you can do this up against walls. I will say though that you saw that my foot was able to kind of flex over the box. If you have something that forces your foot into plantar flexion while you're doing the couch stretch, you're actually gonna feel a better stretch through the anterior chain the whole way. So try to get that foot flat up against something. This was not ideal for the couch stretch. The frog pose, basically I'm gonna force my knees out and then try to sit into a below parallel squat. So here's my hip crease, here's my femur, that's below parallel, and then the closer I can get to the ground, the better for this position. After the frog pose, we have our prayer stretch, and we wrote PNF next to it, which is proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. Basically, it's a long way of saying do some stretching with some contract, relax mixed in. So the way that I would do it is I would probably set a 2-minute timer, 10 seconds of contraction, 20 seconds of relaxation, and then trying to go further and further into my end range each time. My hands are going to be on the box or some sort of platform. You can do the edge of the bed, the couch. The elbows are going to be locked, and I'm going to press my face down. After a 20-second hold, I'm going to come up and push into the box. What I'm actually trying to do here is fatigue my lats and trick them into thinking that they can stretch a little bit farther. Going through that process of 10 seconds of contraction, 20 seconds of relaxation, 3 to 4 times will help open up your overhead position. Wrist in and out. I'll be kneeling on the ground. Palms will be back, so there's my wrist out. And then I'll put my fingers together and press the top of my hands into the ground, and there's my wrist in. The prayer stretch, you can do anywhere from 90 seconds to 2 minutes. And the wrist in and out, I usually do 30 seconds in and out. And then again, just I wanted to reiterate the point that this would be a good day to practice pull-ups if you have access to a pull-up bar at your home or if you have access to a park that has a pull-up bar. Thank you for coming to CrossFit Nola online today, Wednesday.